Senator, I appreciate the spirit of what you're offering here. I actually think this is exactly what's wrong with the whole bill, though, that in Washington, D.C., in the United States Senate, we'd be deciding at a local election the circumstances under which someone could get food and water. That's what's wrong with this bill. I think every state, at least, like all of us, I'm more familiar with my state law than any other, but every state has gone to the kind of lengths that you suggested Georgia has, where you can't wear a T-shirt with a campaign slogan on it, you can't have a button on near the polling place. I know in our state at one time, the law said you couldn't electioneer, we're all familiar with that term, within 100 feet of the polling place. Well, we had some polling places where the polling place was 100 feet inside the building, so we changed that law to where it was 25 feet from the outside door. I mean, that shouldn't be a federal determination, how many feet from the outside door. Or what is electioneering? If I'd been in line for 4 hours and I had no strong feeling about the sheriff's race, and somebody comes up with a bottle of water and said, enjoy the water, I'm just here today because I care about my cousin who's running for sheriff, and mentions his name, it might have some impact on me. We've gone to great lengths not to let that sort of thing happen in our various states. My sense should be that this is exactly what's wrong with this bill, that we'd have a food and water amendment. And by the way, what does that mean? Does that mean who knows? I mean, you mentioned a protein bar. Or is that the next thing we do, determine what food is food? Now, the Georgia law in your state specifically says that the election officials can accommodate water. I assume if you have those lines. And by the way, I think in your state, the longest lines were in just a few polling places that would open up 2 weeks before the election. Polling places not designed to handle the election day traffic had the longest waits in 2020. I just don't think this is our job. I'm not opposed to people getting food and beverages at some point, but I have a hard time imagining that there's some totally neutral individual who organizes providing food and water to people at the polling place without some motive of wanting to express their own view of democracy or politics or candidates. I just don't think this is a matter for the federal government, but that may reflect my opposition to the law generally more than your specific amendment. But I will vote against this amendment. And later, when I'm glad to explain too why I think that this is not the business of the federal government. When I'm asked, why did you vote against ensuring that people could have water at the polling place given by whoever wants to give it to them, I think I could take that debate on.